this broke, that's broken, this is broken. Yep, that too. Are you noticing a theme here? We love our tiny home on wheels, but at the end of the day, it is a metal box that goes down some very bumpy roads and things break all the time. If you watched our last video, you know that we have been in Utah for like 5 weeks, just living it up and adventuring and putting off some things that we probably should have taken care of. But now we're in Oregon and the pace of life already feels slower here. And so I figure it's about time that we take care of some of the things that we have been neglecting. So come slow down with us today as we tackle some van repairs and maintenance. Oh, by the way, if this is your first time here, I'm Alicia, and my partner Rachel and I have been traveling in our van, figuring out how to live a slower life mixed in with some adventure. If that sounds interesting to you, definitely hit that subscribe button. We would really appreciate it. So one of the benefits to having built this van from scratch is having had to have learned how to put it all together. I also kind of know how to put it back together when it breaks. So the first project I actually tackled a little earlier this week was fixing our bench seat. There's a support beam that goes across and that basically helps to hold up the two tops of the bench seat where we sit. And it had been breaking off. It broke off like 3 times. I fixed it once, I thought, and then it broke again. And so I knew I needed a more permanent fix, but I didn't have the tools I needed. And when we were in Utah, there weren't a lot of like big, like stores where I could easily go buy the stuff. So we just waited. Thankfully, Rachel has this like art box that takes up a lot of space and I've complained a lot about, but it came in handy because it has been the thing that's been basically holding the seat up and holding that support beam up. But now that I was able to go to Home Depot and grab some wood and some wood glue and some nice hardy screws, we were able to get that repaired earlier this week. It's not perfect, but it's done and I think it'll hold. So it's definitely not perfect, but I think it'll do the job. The wood split, it's hot, I'm sweating, but I think everything, it looks better than it did. And it looks pretty solid. So yeah, even if you don't live in a van, I think sometimes like taking things apart and putting them back together helps you to understand them better. And so then the next time that thing breaks, you feel more confident in being able to fix it yourself. Here is one of many examples of things to just kind of fall off in your hand. I think it's some combination of the fact that we're always bouncing down the road and the fact that I built it with very little experience. So, but here's what makes me feel better. I also see we watch people on channels who have like professionally built RVs and their stuff breaks all the time too. So it makes me feel a little bit less like it was just because I built it. So I need to install this handle. One of the reasons I am, committed to doing a lot of the repairs and maintenance on my own is it just saves money. A lot of these things, if I were to go to someone and a van builder or a mechanic and try to get them done, they would charge me for labor, charge me all kinds of stuff. So anything that feels like I can do it, I just try to do it. Even if I don't know how. Some of the fun is just figuring it out. This is the last chance that I'm giving this pegboard because I've tried to fix it several times. We really don't use it for that much stuff. So if this doesn't work, I think it might be getting retired. Okay, hopefully that stays, or we're gonna have to find a new place to store all of my niece's artwork. So, but for now, I'm gonna hope that was the fix. So let's talk tools. I actually travel with probably more tools than I need, and I left those in the van. But today I took out some of the ones that we've used the most on the road to get the job done. We have obviously our basic things like some screwdrivers, wrench, vice grip. We also have a really good drill. Shout out to my friend Coco who gave me this drill because it is high powered and gets pretty much anything done that we need. Some drill bits and a socket wrench for some things. Oh, and a multimeter. Multimeter helps to diagnose electrical issues, which we've had some along the road. And when all else fails, some handy dandy duct tape because that helps us keep things together even when everything else is falling apart. When I have a big project and I'm really not sure what I'm going to need for it, what parts, or even exactly how I'm going to tackle it, I prefer to do those projects in like a Home Depot or Lowe's parking lot, which is what we did this past weekend. We went to the Home Depot in Bend, Oregon, because I had to do a plumbing project. One of the things that's been happening to us is we have two gray water tanks underneath the van. We have one 15-gallon and one 10-gallon. One is for the shower and one is meant to be for the sink. The place that I had the one for the sink installed, it kind of hung a little bit lower. And over time, on all these crazy roads, we've bottomed out a couple times, and that has just been getting lower and lower and lower. And so I've decided I wanted to reroute all of our gray water plumbing into the one 15-gallon tank because we really don't use the shower that much. And so that one 15-gallon tank should be enough for our needs. But this was going to be a huge project. I had no idea how I was going to do the plumbing, what I was going to need. And so we went to Home Depot where I was able to get all the parts. And it was a hot day. So after some sweat, after some messiness of having all the water pour on me, I was finally able to kind of figure it out. Yeah, I think it worked. I think I got to get some wrap for this pipe because it's like right near the exhaust. But the water went through. It's like a puzzle down here, but I think I figured out the puzzle. Now I gotta take it all apart and glue it and then put it back together, which is annoying, but at least I know it works. We at least have the sink going to the gray water. I might need to still work on the shower, which is a whole nother project because I think we have a leak and so we haven't been using it. So that, my friend, is a problem for another day. So the cover to our MaxxAir fan has come loose and has been swaying in the wind. And so I'm going to climb up here and fix that. And as I'm climbing up, I want to talk a little bit about the number one reason I do a lot of these repairs myself. Yes, I'm cheap and frugal. Yes, I know how to fix the van because I built it myself. But the most important thing is it's just so empowering. There's so many times where I think I can't figure it out and it gets really frustrating, but like that moment that you actually figure it out on your own, I don't know, it just feels so accomplished. So per usual, I don't know if that actually fixed it all the way, but it'll fix it for now. And if it happens again, then we'll probably have to take this thing apart and figure out a better solution. But for now, let's hope it holds up to the wind. Another thing that we need to fix is this projector mount. This belongs to this. I think we have to start to take the projector down when we're traveling because it's just too much weight and it just shakes it out of there. So I'm going to fix that so we can get back to watching our shows on the big screen. My little helper wants to come up and help. Come here. You want to help me? You can just stay right over there. That's the biggest help. Oh, I forgot to mention this when I was talking about tools, but I also have this like Allen wrench set that is super helpful because I feel like so many things have Allen wrenches, and this is one of them. So I need to connect this back to this. I'm going to do it really tight. And I put it on backwards, so let's try that again. Maybe I shouldn't have tightened it so hard. Oh, goodness. One of the keys here, you just got to laugh at yourself a little bit. You got to have a sense of humor. No big deal. Okay, let's try this again. And it is back together. So this is supposed to be able to go like this, but what's happening is it just like it would just shake all around. So now it's tightening back up. I think that's just going to be one of those things that we just have to do regular maintenance of because all the shaking is just going to continue to shake, but it works for now. So yeah, just like at home, it's really easy to put off the repairs and maintenance, but they were pretty simple to do once I actually just like take the time to do them. A little bit of patience trying to give yourself grace, because sometimes it is a little bit of just staring for a while and figuring out how you're going to do it. Trial and error has definitely been a thing for us, but ultimately it saves money, it feels empowering, and it helps you to really understand your rig when you do the repairs yourself. And so I'm going to keep on doing it. Thank you so much for watching. We have gotten a bunch of subscribers over the past few weeks, and just so humbled and grateful for you watching us every week. We hope that we provide some entertainment. We hope that you learn a couple things. We hope that you enjoy spending time with us as much as we enjoy making these videos for you. And until next time, I hope that you find a way to go slow down.